Well, let's get a bit more perspective. Our business correspondent, Chimeze Obiwagu, joins us now. Chimeze, great to have you on this side this time around.
Thanks, IJ.
Yeah, we've seen the major things that you pointed out there, but I mean, you followed this for the last 1 year. What were the major ups and downs for you following?
All right, let's look at it from, let's start with the positives, okay? Looking at where we're coming from in 2020, where we saw lockdown, massive lockdown, restriction, oil price, which of course is our major source of revenue, was heavily battered. And then coming into 2021, economy started opening up. We saw a lot of economic activities happening. In fact, for the year, oil price, this year we have seen oil price record at least $80 a barrel, and that is good news for the economy. It has helped to support government revenue. As such, we exited the recession. Again, there are other positive developments during the year. We saw the passage of the PIB and, of course, the signing of the PIB. And talking about supporting the economy, I must give it to the central bank, which has actually played its role in terms of intervention. You know, they are in their intervening to the on the economy. That also supported growth there. But then there are some issues. Inflation remains significantly high, even though data from the National Bureau of Statistics is saying that inflation is trending high. But you and I know that when we get into the market, prices of goods and services are really on the high side. Inflation has eroded the purchasing power, people's purchasing power. Then there's also the issue of insecurity, which is also helping to fuel inflation. Farmers couldn't get to their farms to produce. That again affected the agri sector, which also is impacting inflation data, particularly food inflation. And then the one that I described as the big elephant in the room, which is the foreign exchange. That foreign exchange market experienced a lot of volatility this year. We saw the Naira heavily devalued, particularly at the parallel market, and more problematic was the issue of supply in the foreign exchange market. Businesses couldn't access FX easily as they should. Well, the central bank tried its best to try and see how they can actually support and bring up supply in the FX market. That remains an issue, and that has contributed again to the inflation number that we are seeing.
So to the average person watching and who has listened to you from January to this point, what sort of a year would you describe it economic-wise? And then what's the forecast, I'd say, even though you're going into 2022?
Well, it's a mixed bag. Talking about this year, there's the ups and there's the down. But then going into 2022, it's quite promising, despite COVID-19 that is ravaging the global economy with the Omicron variant. The truth of the matter is that we're not going to see the kind of lockdown that we saw in 2020, and that's actually positive. I mean, government all over the world, people seem to have come to terms that this virus it will stay with us for a long time, and so they're beginning to find a way to live with it. Again, there's also the crude oil market the outlook is also positive. That again will also support government revenue. But then the risk I see here is that 2022 is a year of election. There's going to be a lot of political activities, and there's this tendency that attention will be shifted from economic issues to politics. I think that's where the issue will lie. So, but for us, all we can do, as I always say, keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Indeed, we've heard that from you all year. Thanks a lot, Chimeze, our business correspondent.
Thank you, IJ.
Obiwagu.